Good morning, Warrior Nation. Episode 2 of the Blue Vest Dads BVDs. It is breakfast with the BVDs, not breakfast in BVDs. Grammar's important. Grammar's important. That's why we teach it through 6th grade here at Annapolis. First, want to get Tony on the microphone as president of the BVDs. What's your take on the wins yesterday? So we had 2 wins yesterday, both teams in the semifinals. What, from a president standpoint, what's your take on the wins yesterday?
Yeah, well, they were great wins, and obviously the BVDs came through.
Right.
I mean, it was hands down.
Absolutely.
Both teams pulled, we were there, supported them, and it was great. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we can take pretty much 90% of the credit for the wins yesterday.
Yeah.
98, I mean, at least.
Well, and that's kind of one of the philosophies we started, we wanted to ground ourselves in when we came up with BVDs. The success principle of, it's 90% your attitude and 10% of your circumstances. So we brought that over to the BVDs, and we take 90% of the credit of the wins,
right,
and only 10% of the losses.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Makes
sense. That's what
sense.
we're here for. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we working with Will. He's got some names, some official titles and roles for everyone.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've our organizational structure is being established, so we're not completely set in stone. But I did come up with a few titles for everybody.
Did you want to share? Just share these.
Why don't you go ahead and read off a few of them? I know some of the positions are a little more important than others.
Right. Well, obviously Tony Lee for president, El Presidente. Will is the CAO, the Chief Acquisition Officer, and acquisition of the
blue vest, the blue vest,
yes.
the piece that ties us all together.
Right. I'm apparently the CEO, Chief Entertainment Officer. So, okay. Chris Riojas, who decided to come today. He's kind of more of a fair weather BVD, kind of, as time allows. He's the COC, the
Chief of Comedy.
Chief of Comedy. Okay,
yes.
Keeping it light. Josh Cavazos, he's the Chief of
Smooth.
Yes.
Smooth. We're
keeping it smooth. Keeping it smooth.
That is a Cavazos. That is a Cavazos trend. We see that in his son every time we see him on the floor. So Chief of Smooth.
Okay. Chad Boma, who's not here. He is International Affairs.
International Affairs or Canadian liaison.
Yeah, Canadian liaison. Right. Yeah. Forgot about that. Kevin Phillips.
Bouncer.
He's a bouncer. Yeah. So.
Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah.
Sergeant at Arms. Okay, there we go.
James Ford. He's urban development.
Correct.
Yeah. It kind of keeps us, keeps us more in tune with what's going on culture-wise. Carlos. He's the counterweight.
Counterweight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Joe Guzman, voice of reason. He kind of keeps it steady.
Keeps us in line. Yes.
Yeah. Josh Segundo, he's the sermonizer or the reverend.
Yes. I think
the Rev.
The Rev.
Yeah. And Sam, who's a little under the weather, he's the stat man.
The stat man.
Yeah. So the positions are still up for grabs, but kind of yeah. So let's get Chris Riojas in. He's wasn't here yesterday. Yeah. Of all the BVDs, who do you think wears the blue vest the best?
I would have to say that would go to you.
Really?
My good. Yes, you have an insignia.
That's right.
On the front.
Right.
You came up with the Lock Here special, and you peacock it out very well.
Oh, thank you.
I will say that.
Thank you.
It does look very good on you with the insignia.
Thank you.
I need to get mine. I haven't been able to. I've been bowed up, but I am jealous of the insignia on the front.
Yeah. Well,
I think you wear it the best.
Thank you.
But I do want to set one thing straight. So yesterday watching the podcast, I know that it was said that I started this thing, which I'll be more than happy to take the credit for it. However, I would like to point out that Josh Segundo was at the game and actually suggested the blue vest for all of us at an Annapolis game, but he had called it the vesting. And I thought it was very fun. I thought it was very cool. And when we played at Carroll, we were all talking, and Will took the ball with us just talking and ordered vests right then and there on Amazon Prime, and we all got them ordered, and then it became this ordeal, and then it all was based off of that. So Josh has to get some credit, him
Okay.
and Josh Cavazos and Tony and all those guys, because yeah, it started off as a running joke, and then it came into something. But honestly, I think it was very cool and very unique, and nobody else has done it like
Yeah.
that. So I am supposed to be at work today, so please don't air this on the internet. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
you weren't here.
I'm off.
You
I'm
weren't
off.
here. You
I'm
weren't
off.
here.
I got vacation.
Yeah. And I guess next question is, why do you think Coach Harper does not coach in a blue vest?
I would have to say that I think the reason that he doesn't coach in a blue vest is because it would cramp his style. You have to understand, Coach Harper is a man of suave. He looks good out there.
Yeah.
Suits in general. So he would not probably be seen wearing one of these, as it is, a very special taste and interest. So you did, but he has not worn it. But I will say this: if he does win, if we have a good run and the good Lord blesses us and we win state, I would say that he needs to put the vest on and take a picture with us at the front.
Absolutely.
And he gets an exclusive.
Absolutely.
Because we know how his superstitions are. So
Yeah.
we won't go there. But I think that's the reason why he hasn't worn a blue vest.
Right.
But I think he would make it look good.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So let's talk about Caleb. He's been with the Annapolis team now for several years.
Yes.
How do you think playing with Annapolis has helped define him, his character, and how has it helped his walk with the Lord?
Man, that's a really good question. And, Caleb is very quiet. He's not very open with that type of stuff with me. But I think that by playing in the atmosphere with the surrounding kids and the parents, it's really molded him to be a silent leader. He's not a guy that's going to be rah-rah in your face with it, but we've seen things and we've caught things that have basically exemplified everything that he's been around. Because you have to remember, Caleb and Brendan have played select ball a lot and been in very, I would say, not violent, but very aggressive atmospheres, because you're playing against all walks of life. And there are a lot of worldly people out there that don't have the same values as us. So when he came to Annapolis and he started playing with them, I thought it was a very good balance, because we got to play at a place that exemplified our beliefs and our Christian values. And I think it's in an awesome way shaped him and his personality and how he carries himself. And he won't come out and say that because he's, too cool for school.
Yeah.
But we've seen it just in talking with his siblings, in leading them and watching out for them. And we don't ever boast about it, because then, it would be like, oh, well, that's uncool of, you to say that, Dad. Don't say that, But he's really, with the kids in the mix, he's really showed that at the house, on and off the court.
Yeah.
So by being in that environment, it's been a blessing all the way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've taken
Awesome.
away from it.
That's great. That's great. Let's turn the mic over to Tony here. Does Brendan have any special pregame rituals, routines he has to do, or is he pretty loose, kind of go with the flow?
I wouldn't say he's go with the flow, but as far as routines, he gets very focused, and he will socialize lightly. He eats and that, but he stays to himself. He takes it very seriously. When we're on weekends like this, and this has been all through his entire life through baseball and basketball, he sees these as business trips. So, you're not going to find him in the pool messing around. You're not going to find him wandering around, hanging out and doing a lot of crazy stuff. He stays very focused, gets a lot of sleep. So he will be most likely the first one in his room in the evenings, and he focuses in and tries to keep his team focused on what we're here to do.
Yeah. So keys to victory. Obviously, we're all predicting Annapolis wins, but what are going to be the keys to victory for Annapolis?
I think for today's game, we've seen life gates several times. We have come out on victorious with that, but each day each opponent is different, and so it's going to be key for Brennan and the leaders to utilize the entire team, and for everybody on the team to play their role.
Yeah.
And as a team, it won't be a contest, but
Yeah.
That's what I predict.
Yeah. Let's give the mic to Kevin. Now, Kevin yesterday talked about how the girls needed to score, and they did. They brought it yesterday.
They did. Definitely.
Yeah.
We lose a feed.
So let's. Do you wear your blue vest to work? Is this kind of like
I sleep in it?
Yeah.
That's how dedicated I am.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Y'all took it as a joke, but I'm very serious about this thing. I haven't washed it. I've slept in this thing. I've been living in it, actually. I don't even take it off the shower.
Yeah.
I just let it dry on me, just like it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we love that commitment. We love that level of commitment.
Dedication is my middle name.
Yeah. So yesterday you had some pretty important keys to victories. The girls followed suit. They dropped in over 60 points, which is a barrage. I'm guessing that's going to need more of the same today against a pretty tough opponent.
We do. They actually they gelled very well yesterday. Anybody that watched the game, I've told them all. After the game, you came together as a team. Everyone did their job. We had everybody that was supposed to be putting hands on the ball, doing so. Great ball control. The shots were landing, which is the ultimate importance on the court. The shots have to land. They handled each other extremely well. It was probably the best teamwork that I've seen out of the team the entire season. Now, they progressed. They came a long way. We all know they had a ton of tough games throughout the season. Played a lot of bigger schools, 2As, 3As, 4A schools. On this road to get here, just to keep them with their hands on the ball and their mind in the game. That being said, they pulled it together. They came through with the victory. I think at the half it was 27-4, 27-2. It was pretty much a shutout, which was it was something I didn't expect.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a really close game. I'd seen the other team and their record, and they looked like they just had a bad day. They couldn't really bring anything together. Plus, defense-wise, we put on a stellar defense. The ladies got out there, and they just were in the right position. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They followed Coach's direction, Coach Gray, and they pulled off with a win. So we were excited to see that. Now here we go again. Same predicament as our boys team. We're facing Lifegate for the third time this season. And if they can keep it together, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to come out of this thing winning against Lifegate.
Yeah. Well, I think actually this is their fourth time that they're seeing Lifegate, so it's a pretty common opponent. Yeah. Well, with this, we're wrapping up. This is a special edition because it's a birthday edition. Yes. It's my birthday, so what better way to celebrate than with some BVDs? Yeah.
Why wasn't this put out in the public, in the ether?
There's a reason for that.
Superstition? Was it because?
So we're hoping 2 dubs again, get both teams in the finals. It's we're going to try to work out the live stream. The Wi-Fi at the facility is not great, so we will either try to get the live stream going or we'll have to record it and upload it later. So either way, we'll get the game out to our Warrior fans that can't make it here to San Antonio. And Josh, we'll end with you. Lifegate brings a pretty robust crowd. They're loud. What's going to be our go-to cheer as the BVDs? They're going to do the LCA cheer. They're going to hear loud and proud.
What was the one we came?
I'm going to say.
I was not.
Oh, he's like, what?
No.
What do you mean?
I was not. I most definitely was not.
Yeah.
What's been to the gym? Yeah, I was in the weight room before I came here.
Yeah, just pumping up. Yeah. Though
What was the chant we came up with? The one from Rocky 4.
Oh, yes,
We're not going to use that one.
Yeah, this is a family show, and Give him a mic. Give him a mic if he's talking.
Get a mic up.
So every time that we're doing well, Josh and I have this connection with movies, 80s movies, right? Like we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So anytime we come into a hostile environment and the boys end up rallying up and getting some scores, getting some good runs, we always yell out "Nasvenya," and you have to do the hand because if you've seen Rocky when he fights the Russian, the Russian coach when the Russian's getting pounded on, he comes out and says "Nasvenya," and so that's been our running chant to intimidate other teams.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it means. We don't even know what it means. I don't even think we put the captions on to see what it means.
Yeah, probably don't.
So we're probably saying something vulgar. I don't know. I hope not. But that's kind of been our response.
That's the cheer.
Yeah, that's the cheer.
Okay.
That's the cheer. So I'm gonna give it back to Josh because
Hey, it's been working. So.
It's working. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the BVDs ready to rock and roll. We're in the Final Four, both teams, boys and girls in the Final Four, hoping to push to the finals tomorrow. And with that, we're signing off, and let's go Warriors. Yeah.